Hello everybody, Billy back here from Puck Rivals once again to bring you yet another video in the Top 5 Prospects series. Today I will be looking at the Buffalo Sabres, a team who has struggled quite a bit over the last decade, but hey, that means they have a decent prospect pool and a good young core to build around. A prospect is eligible for these rankings if they are 1. Under the age of 24, and 2. Have not played more than 25 games in a single NHL season. Leave a comment on your top 5 Sabres prospects, and with that, let's get started. As with every prospects video, we'll start off looking at the prospects who have graduated by either playing enough NHL games or turned 24 years old. The Sabres graduate list is very minuscule, only one player. That player is Rasmus Asplund, who appeared in 29 games last season, which obviously makes him ineligible for the rankings. Let's take a look at the top 5 now. To kick things off at 5, we have defender Mattias Samuelsson. The Sabres drafted Samuelsson with the first pick of the second round in 2018. He's a big boy on the blue line, weighing 220 pounds at 6'4", and he uses that size and strength to contain opposition forwards along the boards, and he isn't afraid to lay the body either. He tends to be more of a defensive defenseman, but still put up about half a point per game last year in college. After playing 2 seasons in college, one as captain, Samuelsson signed his entry-level deal with Buffalo and will likely spend the season in the AHL, with perhaps a few NHL games sprinkled in. Samuelsson could become a defense-first, bottom-4 defender in the future for the Sabres. Next up, we have the 4th-ranked Sabres prospect, and it is German forward JJ Peterka, or JJ Peterka. Another second-round pick, Peterka is one of 3 Germans that was selected within the top 35 picks of the 2020 entry draft. He's a winger that plays an offensive game with good speed, puck skills, and shot. When you look at his stats from last season, they don't quite jump off the page at you, but he only got about 11 minutes of ice time per game, which is not a lot, and he actually scored the same amount of goals as 3rd overall pick Tim Stützle. This season, he has been playing for Salzburg in Austria, and is producing over a point per game there. Peterka is still raw and is more of a project, but he's got the offensive tools and potential to become a middle 6 scoring forward at the NHL level. Moving on to number 3, we have a goaltender with one of the best names in hockey, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Another second round pick, the Finn is a goaltender with a very large frame, who plays with a bit of a wider stance so that he can cover the lower parts of the net. He moves fluidly and owns good lateral quickness within his crease. After dominating the OHL in 2019, Luukkonen began his professional career last year, playing both in the AHL and the ECHL. While he was in the AHL, he did lack some consistency and didn't put up great numbers. But in the ECHL, he posted some pretty solid numbers for a goalie coming right out of junior. This season, he has been back home playing in his native Finland and owns the second best save percentage of goalies with 10 or more games played in Liga at the time of this video. He still needs a couple years of professional experience before tasting any NHL games, but ultimately, I think Luukkonen could become a legit starting goaltender for the Sabres, something they have needed for quite some time now. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Canadian forward Jack Quinn. The Sabres received some flack selecting the winger with the 8th pick in 2020, but he is still quite a good prospect for Buffalo. Quinn is a goal scorer. There's no two ways about that. He scored 52 goals last year for the 67s, and did not rely on Marco Rossi either. He possesses a great shot and always understands where he needs to be in the offensive zone to score. In addition to this, he's got the hands and puck skills to create chances on his own. His playmaking is alright, but as a primary goal scorer, that isn't really a huge deal. As time went on last year too, he did show improvement in most areas, so there's optimism he could become a more complete player with some coaching. All in all, Quinn's got the instincts and the shot to become a top 6 sniper for Buffalo, and potentially playing alongside Eichel could really bring out the best in him. He will be looked upon to provide some secondary scoring for Team Canada at the World Juniors too. And at last, we arrive at the Sabres' number 1 prospect, another Canadian in Dylan Cozens. There's a lot to like about this player. He's big, he's a fast skater, he's got a hard shot, and has a polished two-way game as well. His skating is his biggest weapon, and he is able to handle the puck well at the pace that he can skate at. He's a dual threat as he can beat you multiple ways and score, or use his playmaking ability to set up teammates. Last season, he dominated the WHL, posting 85 points in 51 games, and will be one of Canada's star players again at the upcoming World Juniors tournament. For the NHL, Cozens is too good to go back to junior, so it's likely Buffalo at least keeps him for his 9-game trial. But it wouldn't be surprising to see him crack the lineup either, most likely as a middle six winger. Long term, he could be a high-end second-line center for the Sabres behind Jack Eichel. That would be a pretty deadly 1-2 punch down the middle. Now let's talk about the players who just missed out, the Sabres Honourable Mentions. Included are 2019 first-rounder defenseman Ryan Johnson, Finnish forward Arttu Ruotsalainen, who is actually doing really well in Finland right now, and 2017 third-rounder defenseman Oskari Laaksonen. Overall, the Sabres have a pretty decent prospect pool, headlined by 2 CHL forwards that have the potential to make a big impact at the NHL level. The Sabres already have a pretty solid top 6, so if you take these 2 into account, there is a ton of offensive potential yet to come in Buffalo. If all goes to plan, they have their goalie of the future in Luukkonen, something that they have been searching for years. He could essentially be the final piece of the puzzle, if you will, for Buffalo, as their goaltending has hindered their ability to really improve as a team. Peterka and Samuelsson are nice assets to have too, and could become solid pieces to the Sabres lineup for years to come. Let us know in the comments what you think of these rankings and which team you'd like to see us do next. You can see the rest of the videos in this series in the playlist in the description below. If you enjoyed this video and love hockey like us, then don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons. This has been Billy from Puck Rivals, and I'll see you in the next video.